Hello, welcome back to another English couple.
Hello again.
We are in the kitchen, as you can see, and the reason we're in the kitchen is I thought it would be quite fun to bake something from the book that I bought really recently and recommended, Delia Smith's, what is it, Essential
Complete Illustrated Cookery Course.
There we go. And rather than doing roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, or,
which would also be lovely.
Which would be nice, or lamb shanks, or pork chops braised in a milky white fish sauce. I thought, I don't know, that sounds actually quite repugnant.
It does. Yes.
I thought it'd be quite fun to make some biscuits. And the irony is that Julia came round the house this morning and said, I bought some biscuits for the tin. And I said, that's silly, because we're going to make some biscuits. But it's always nice to have biscuits.
It's been a while since the tin's had any significant biscuits in it.
Yes,
so.
the tin eats them, doesn't it?
It does. It devours them.
Now, you may say biscuits, but Richard, you're supposed to be on a diet of non-sugar. And that's true. I have reduced my sugar a bit.
But that doesn't mean you can't have it. It just means you don't take it daily.
Yes, exactly. I've reduced my sugar, and this is the winter, and the nights have drawn in, and what else are you going to do other than
You've got to
sit
treat
there
yourself sometimes.
nibbling on biscuits every night in front of the box. I don't know what box it is, probably a horse box. Anyway.
That would be nice.
So the biscuits we're going to make are called whole oat crunches. It's probably the most easiest and basic recipe, and one of the other reasons I chose it is I just happened to got the ingredients because it uses jumbo oats, and I like jumbo oats because they are proper oats, not the flakes that have been rolled. And the jumbo oats is the whole of the oat. It's a plant-based food, by the way, just in case you didn't know.
Just in case.
Yes, it's a plant. It's the whole of the oat has been
whole kernel or
yes.
such. Yeah.
So it's going to use that. We're going to use some demerara brown sugar, brown sugar, and some. This is salted butter. I think she says non-salted butter.
Yeah,
I can't
you're
remember.
supposed to use unsalted, but it really
doesn't make
too
much difference.
difference. It has a little bit extra sugar.
Exactly. There you go. Now, you probably notice I've got my lovely old-fashioned weighing scales.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm going to use the electric mechanism.
The modern version.
Yes. Now, fortunately, this book was written in originally, I think, 1978, and this is a 1990s version, but they still do the measurements in pounds and ounces.
Yeah.
But they do put the grams, which is what
this thing
understands. So, and I guess a lot of people now have converted to grams and don't really understand pounds and ounces too much these days. Older people, of course, will. More sensible people will. 2 ounces.
More sensible people.
Yes, you see, I remember, not that my parents smoked, but you'd buy tobacco, I think, 2 ounces of shag. And I think those 50 grams that you have, because when you buy them for your friend, you get them, he says in a very discarded way, they're like 2 ounces. There's 50 grams. I think 50 grams is 2 ounces. And when you buy butter, what is that? That's 250. It used to be able to buy butter and it would have marks, wouldn't it?
Yeah, mine do, the ones I buy.
Yeah,
is it not on the other side? No, it's not.
No.
Oh, that's odd.
So you know that in 250 you get 5 divisions
of 50
or 4 divisions, giving you 5 chunks of 50 grams of butter. So, Julia, could you be a dear?
Yes.
Wear antlers and cavort around the kitchen. No,
I could indeed do that.
Yes. I don't need you to do that. Could you read out a little bit about the whole wheat crunches, because your voice is very lovely and charming.
Whole oat crunchies. These are the quickest and easiest biscuits I've ever made. They have a nice crunchy toffee taste. If you can get hold of a jumbo oats from a health food shop, so much the better. Otherwise, all ordinary porridge oat flakes will do.
Exactly. So there we go. So what is the actual recipe then that we need?
The ingredients.
Oh, sorry. Yes, the ingredients. Yes, there's a difference between ingredients and a recipe. The recipe
Absolutely.
is the doing.
Is the what to do, the instructions.
That's right.
And the ingredients is what to put in it.
Yeah, sorry.
What you'll need in advance. 2 ounces of whole brackets jumbo oats.
Right. Okay. Shall we?
AKA 50 grams.
Yes. Sorry, I was going to do all that, but this is the thing. This is where I make mistakes.
Yeah.
I did that mistake. I made crumble the other day.
Oh yes.
And I made a mistake.
remember.
and it said it gave you the ingredients.
Yeah.
And then it said, after you've got the ingredients, it said, put the, I can't remember what I used, butter and flour. And you kneaded the flour like this, and then you added the sugar. But I just read the ingredients and thought, shove it all in a bowl and mix it up.
Yeah.
And that's where I keep doing this. I keep going, oh yeah, porridge, sugar,
yeah.
butter, and you just do it. And then I forgot to read actually what you do.
What you should get into the habit of.
Yeah, tell me. Yes, tell me.
Is obviously weigh it all out, put it all separately out on the table so you can see it all, and then start reading the
Well,
instructions.
I got some little pots to do that.
Hindsight's a good thing.
Yeah. But my bottom doesn't look, hasn't got eyes.
Your hind doesn't see.
No, hindsight. Right,
It
so...
talks a lot though.
Thanks.
Wap, wap,
More than
wap,
you needed
wap.
to know. So, how much porridge do we need?
2 ounces of whole jumbo oats.
Right, so if I zero this, that's on naught now, to 2 ounces, which is equivalent to 50 grams. And in my crumble I made, it did say you could add, this is more or less 50. It's 54, it
More or
says on there,
less.
more or less, that's good enough. Right, so I'm going to leave that in a pot.
Yep.
Just like you said.
Exactly.
And I've got another pot here for the sugar. How much? I just need to zero this. In the crumble I made,
It says porridge oats as well.
porridge oats as well. What do you mean, jumbo oats?
2.5 ounces of porridge oats. Or is that, or instead of, hang on. Right, so I think it's either 2 ounces of whole jumbo or 2.5 ounces of porridge oats, but we don't need the porridge oats, I presume.
Well, there's not much in there then to
No.
make. That just doesn't seem to
Have
make
you
many.
got porridge oats?
No. Can we just use jumbo oats?
I don't see why not.
This is where
Already we run a cropper.
suddenly. I don't understand.
Let me have a quick. First,
Read the recipe. Meanwhile, I'll do a quick dance routine whilst you're establishing that, so we keep the audience amused and bemused. And there it was, very quick. Whilst you're doing it, I'll measure out the sugar. That's probably a good idea, isn't it?
It just says first weigh out the oats and sugar. Place them in a bowl, mix
Yeah.
together.
How much sugar?
And take melt the margarine.
3 ounces, which is 75 grams.
Yep.
75 grams. Oops, that's 77. Oop, and that's another couple of grams on the floor. That's loose. There we are. Okay. So what's the verdict then?
Well, I don't know, because that doesn't look like a lot, does it?
No, doesn't look enough in there.
No.
And especially for the amount of sugar. Mind you, you've got butter to go in it, but this is very strange.
It is.
If you were making, say they've got another recipe next door saying oatmeal biscuits, and if you had to make oatmeal biscuits, you've got flour, 175 grams, and oatmeal at 50 grams, and then the rest is the powders and stuff. So I don't know whether we should have more oats. Can we not just...
Shall we put them together, give them a mix-up, and see what it looks like in...
In reality?
Yeah. I mean,
Should we put butter in as well?
well, next we have to melt the butter, gently melt the margarine or butter.
Yes.
And we need 110 grams of this. Now...
If we put that
do
on
we
there
have a
and see it... Are you on a knife now,
A
do you?
knife to...
Yes, certainly.
To cut the
To cut the butter. Yes, I forgot about the nut. Hang on, I have to go around on this side of the camera. Sorry about this, viewers. The normal, wonderful... Oh, you're going to need a mixing spoon as well, aren't we? I've got
doing
that.
a song and dance to, keep everybody entertained, or try to. Anyway, where
So
were we?
how much is that? We need a butter?
110.
Go on
If
then.
that's 250,
Yeah, I reckon about there.
that's probably about 15. That's probably, I reckon about there.
Bloody hell, really? Go on then. That's half my butter. Butter is very expensive at the moment.
It is. That's all right. Oop.
How much do we need? 110?
Yeah. See, that wasn't...
That's 90.
Yeah.
Although most of it went on the thing when you flipped
It's
it in.
still being weighed, though.
Yes, I know. This is the great thing about being a couple, is that you start to argue when you do things together.
You call that arguing?
I do. That's 100.
And this will hopefully be 10.
Yeah, no, that's 106. That'll do. So if we put that on here, this is the Essie, by the way, ladies
Hello,
and gentlemen.
Essie. Blessy the Essie.
It says melt it, but don't let it go brown. Now, probably to help that, I'm going to slice it up a bit.
Yeah. Do you want to scoop that in as well?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Don't me.
He said, do I want
Would
to?
you like this in the fridge?
Yes, please. Because the one thing, cooking with an Essie, with a wood-burning stove, is it does get nice and warm in the kitchen. But it means anything like butter and stuff like that will melt. I'll let you stir that.
I'm going to have a glug.
So I think we're going to mix this up with our hands. So make sure you've washed your hands. There we are, I've washed mine. I don't think there is enough. I can't see that little bit. People are going to watch this and think you should have rehearsed this.
You plonkers, yeah.
You should have made this
You should
before.
have even read the receipt.
The receipt.
The recipe.
Ah, the recipe.
Yeah, I should have.
Similar letters in receipt. Yeah, there is not enough in there.
So I reckon we'd put another 50 grams of jumbo oats in.
Another 60.
Well, yeah, but they're... Yeah. 60 then.
Put that on there.
Wake up.
Battery is going on my scale, so we'll have to end up going to the... Oh, look at that. It would be now, when you're filming. It's always when you're filming.
If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. There's a rule, isn't there? There's a rule, isn't it?
Yes. It says it's... Here we go, there we go. Oh, I get halfway through it, and it
cuts
dies.
out. This is going so well.
So that's the sort of guesstimate of...
Well, a cooking channel, we are not.
No, we're definitely not a cooking channel. There are plenty of other cooking channels. If you can find them, you're very welcome.
If you want to learn how to cook, it's not with us, I'm afraid.
Anyway, how's that melting going? Oh,
It's
that
going,
looks
it's
good.
almost-
Shove that in.
It's not quite.
Yeah, you don't want it brown, do you? Oh, that'll do.
No, but
That'll
there's
do.
still lumps in there.
Oh, don't worry about the lumps. Right, now you've got to mix all that lot together.
Thanks.
I'll take this off you. There we go. And the recipe says that once you've done and mixed this all up, this is going to be absolutely fascinating, ladies and gentlemen. Fascinating if this actually works. Is you then put it on a tray, which I'll probably have to grease, and you shove it in the oven for 30 minutes or something, or some such time. I don't know what time. 25 minutes or something. So we're not going to end up being able to... well, what's the time now? Hang on. We're on.
It's 25 to.
Julia has to go and pick children up and do things.
Yes.
So, yes, we might have time to show you the end result, which we'll edit in at the end.
That looks good.
That does look good.
It smells amazing.
Was thinking of making flapjacks, which just has a bit of golden syrup in. Now, it is possible we could just shove in a bit of golden syrup into that recipe. But I don't think that's probably a good idea to mix two recipes together.
Let's just do this one.
Yes, I'm looking on my shelf. I haven't got ordinary porridge. I normally have got some ordinary porridge.
Yeah. Very remiss of you.
Yeah, very remiss. But so this will be interesting. So these cakes will probably be very crunchy and flaky, I imagine. Anything else that it says? Pour the melted margarine into the bowl.
And mix until everything is well and truly blended, I think it is.
You couldn't blend that more.
No. Now all you have to do is to tip the mixture into the prepared tin and to press it out evenly all over using your hands.
So that's what it looks like. And it says a prepared tin. I don't actually have a flat tin.
No, it's just going to have to sit.
Well, I was going to put it on there, and it's not going to move about, is it?
No,
Is
but
it?
it might be better off with something with sides. I don't know. It might just keep dropping off.
Right, what?
Not spread so much. No, let's give it a go.
Well, now I'm just wondering whether what we should do is let that, because it's all the big oats, I found if I put it in milk and put it in the fridge for about an hour and come back, it's absorbed all the moisture. So I'm just wondering whether we should let this absorb the moisture before we cook it so that the oats are more... Because I think the reason you use porridge, the flaky bits, is because that will absorb...
Yeah,
that will absorb the moisture much quicker and bind it. That's my thought.
Yeah, it's a good thought.
Whereas this won't have time if we just do that and shove it straight in.
No, you're right.
So I think we might come back as chickens.
As chickens. I'm already a headless chicken.
We might leave that for 10 minutes or so before we bung it in.
Okay.
And then put it in the oven. So we'll see you with the result. Okay. Is that a good sense?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we can have another cup of tea and go were we thinking? What were we thinking?
Rock backwards and forwards on our haunches. Oh no.
So
oh no.
what we now need is one of those wobble, wobble, wobble things.
We do, really?
Yep. Wobble, wobble. And as if by magic and the power of editing and all that nonsense, we're back.
And it is sometime later.
It is indeed. It's a good, almost an hour later.
40 so minutes, yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter.
No.
So the main thing is we've shoved this. So what did we do, Julia? We took it out the bowl.
Yep, we let it set, didn't we?
We let it settle, that we said.
Let it soak up, and
Yep.
then we greased the tray. We plopped the stuff on. We flattened it out. I tried to
With your hand.
Yeah, tried to kind of.
And it was
do that
quite
with it.
small. It was quite a small thing, and I thought, hello, we need more because there's not going to get much out of that.
But I insisted, no, leave it as it is, and you popped it in the oven.
Popped it in the oven. 15 minutes later, taking it out.
Let it sit for
Let it
5
sit,
minutes, cool
and it's
down.
now cooled down, and it has
it's-
actually spread. Unfortunately, the oven stopped it from, because this tray just fits exactly into the oven, so it didn't sort of just spill over,
off,
which
yeah.
it could have done. And it's now still a bit warm, but cool. And what I should have done, I shall fetch here, is a little
A
knife.
kniff.
So we're going to try it out and see if our results have been a complete and utter waste of time. Let's hope not. So,
Which bit should we go for? This
well, I think
bit?
we go,
That
for
bit?
the crispiest bits, really.
Okay.
Because the middle bit's probably still a little bit, I would imagine,
Weak.
not properly settled.
Let's go here-ish then.
This is the great moment of truth. So I was just trying to work out the amount of, because the butter is about £2 a block now, so we've used about 90 pence worth of butter, I would say, and probably about 50 pence worth of oats, and say 20 pence worth of sugar. So 90, 140, so it's about £1.60, which you would spend for a packet. So I reckon, for these sort of homemadey things, I reckon we're not any cheaper,
No.
but we know there's no preservatives and no, nasty stuff, and it's not been sitting on the shelf, and we've had the fun of making
We
it.
had a laugh.
Yeah. So, Julia, give it a go. We may poison ourselves now.
Hardly.
Actually,
It's not half bad.
it's not half bad.
A little cinnamon in that would have been awesome. I do
Oh.
love cinnamon. I do love cinnamon. I didn't think to put any things in it.
No, but I guess once you've got that basic recipe, you could add currants and various
Oh
things.
yeah, I was going to say dried fruit.
Dried fruit, that sort of thing. You could make them thicker into more like flapjacks. I know there was a recipe saying use syrup as your binding agents. I mean, basically that's still the same thing, isn't it? In a way,
Pretty much.
I would think butter and what was the other thing?
Sugar.
Sugar is pretty much syrupy thing once it's heated up.
That's tasty.
That tasty. Well, have another bit, please.
I won't.
That with your morning coffee. So if you've got any recipes that you would advise for, oh look, there's a big bit here, very nice. Okay, so it's got sugar in, it's got a lot of butter in, so it's quite fatty, and it's got oats which have got protein in and are good for you. And as a healthy snack, I think all of that is, as long as you don't eat the whole lot in one go, that as a little snack gives you the energy. And oats, I think, is like porridge, is one of those slow, what do they call
Slow
it?
energy
Release.
release, that's it.
Yeah.
Might have to do this with my kids.
I think you should. Well, I think
We've done the old classic of, well, I say old classic, I suppose 90s classic of, or maybe before, whatever, of putting cornflakes or sugar puffs, not sugar puffs.
Rice Krispies.
Thank you, Rice Krispies and things like that on a tray, or mixing them with chocolate and
My mum used to do that. Chocolate pops,
That
used to
is that.
call it.
Ah.
With Rice Krispies. Mix it up with a bit of, it was either milk chocolate or she used a darker chocolate, like a Bourneville.
Yeah.
More 100% cocoa with a bit of, by the time you put the milk and all the other things, it wasn't quite so acrid, but that's why I like dark chocolate, I think, because of what my mum used to make.
Yeah, I think my mum used to use cooking chocolate, milk chocolate, milk chocolate. cooking chocolate.
Cooking
Melt
chocolate.
that
Yeah,
down.
I'd love to know what the difference is cooking chocolate and
Well, I
real.
think it's just because it's already been prepared into a chocolatey format. Because with the cocoa powder, you've got to add other stuff. Don't
Right.
you?
What's the difference then between cooking chocolate and a bar of ordinary chocolate that you would eat? Is there a difference?
Oh,
There is a difference in taste because they're not as nice.
I'm not sure what that difference is, but I know there is a slight difference.
Yeah.
It makes it easier to
Cook.
melt.
Melt. All right. Okay. Cool. Well, there we go.
Well, we had this whole chat kind of planned out, didn't we?
Yeah, we were going to
didn't
talk
get
about
to
much more about the type of. So we're going to obviously do another cooking show in which we actually talk about the various different cakes and cooks and things. But
Not that this is a cooking show.
no, but as an experience, because this is the English couple and this is a sort of coupley things, I can quite get why sometimes you might want to just go away and do things on your own because, you can be irritated by the partner if they're not quite mixing it right or they put the wrong ingredients or they want to add something in that you
I
don't
don't know
want
what
to
you're
add.
saying.
No, I'm not saying about us. I'm just saying that could happen. But it's also a great lot of fun for a couple to do together. It's like, we're trying to think of things that you can do together. And I think cooking together is a good fun thing.
It's always a good place to start, isn't it?
Yeah, particularly if it's something tasty and fun that you can eat. So thanks very much for that. I'll go and take those away and eat them now. So I think you should
have one more little bit.
break some of that up and feed it to your kids and see what they reckon.
That'd be good.
So there we go. Thank you for watching English Couple. We made a bit of a cock-up in the kitchen, but that's all good fun. And who knows where we'll be doing and what we'll be up to next time.
Hope you've had a laugh. We sure have.
We did. Till then,
Bye for now.
bye-bye.